Okay, welcome to JC Connect. In the previous class, um, we were discussing about some of the very important tests on aggregate, um, and uh, there um we have already discussed um the crushing value. So you have to refer the IS 2386 Part 4 to determine the crushing value. Okay, so then the 10% fine test. So the 10% fine test, so it gives, you can define in this way, very simple manner. Okay, so how much stress is required, how much stress is required to produce 10% fine value. Okay, normally it is given by the weight of fine aggregates to the total weight of the aggregate. Total weight of the grade. So this should be equal to 10%. Okay. So here, um, what we are determining is that, okay, so how much resistance of the aggregate crushing is subjected to its loading, and it is applicable to for both weak and strong aggregates. Okay, it is the measure of resistance, hmm, of aggregate crushing subjected to loading. Okay, this test always looking for the forces required produce stresses or forces required. We can call it as forces required. Stress means force by area. Okay, so how much stress or force you are applying to an surface area of that aggregate. Okay, so that is nothing but 10% fine test. And if you want to conduct it, so proper grading should be selected. Okay, so then we'll go ahead with the abrasion value. So the abrasion value of the coarse aggregate is determined by Los Angeles machines. You already know this. So then aggregate abrasion value gives a relative measure of resistance of an aggregate to wear when it is rotated in a cylindrical cylinder along with some abrasion charges. So whenever the aggregates are rotating, so inside uh, the balls will be there. Okay, steel balls. Okay, for that, how much resistance it is giving, that has to be determined. Okay, the percentage of wear of um, aggregates due to the rubbing with steel balls is determined and known as Los Angeles abrasion value. So the abrasion charge, normally it is the cast iron spheres or steel balls approximately 40 diameter and weighing between, so this much. Hmm, this specification, this is the Los Angeles, so it will, when you start rotating it, so normally it will rotate this direction or that direction. Okay, so then procedure, of course, there are different gradings will be there in that. Okay, initially always whichever the sample you are collecting, you have to oven dry oven dry you have to oven dry it. Okay, for, because moisture should not be there. If moisture is there, you won't get the proper abrasion value. Okay, and the sample should be confirm of any of the gradings shown in table 1. I'll show you the table how exactly A B C D E tables will be mentioned. Then select the grading to be used in the test such that it conforms to the grading to be used in construction to the maximum extent possible. See, whenever you are selecting any of the grades, remember that, see, what kind of grading you are using for field. Based on that only you have to select whether it is A, B, C, D, that will see later. Okay, based on that you have to select as much as possible. Okay, for that you have to take 5 kg of samples from grading A, B, C, D and 10 kg of gradings. It will be E, F, G. Okay, choose the abrasion charges as per the table 2 and place the aggregates and abrasion charges on the cylinder and fix the cover. Okay, so rotate the machine for the speed of 30 to 33 rpm. The number of revolutions is 500 for gradings A, B, C, D and 1000 for gradings E, F, G. So whatever we have considered here, it is for 10 kg and here we have considered for 5 kg. The machine should be balanced and driven such that there is uniform speed. Okay, the machine is stopped after desired number of revolutions. The material is discharged to a tray. The entire stone dust is sieved. This is important. After when you finish that revolutions, it has to be sieved in 1.7 mm ISC. Then material coarser than 1.7 mm sieve is washed. Very important. Okay. So material coarser than 1.7 mm sieve is washed, dried in oven for about degree. Weight correct to 1 gram. Okay. So you have to weigh it. So if any small decimals is there, you correct it to grams. Okay. So this is what the table. Okay. A B C D E F G H. Okay. So then this is the weight of the charge in grams. So plus or minus. So like that you have to prepare. Then original weight of the aggregate sample. Then weight of the aggregate sample retained, that is W2. Weight of passing, that is 1.7 mm ISU, that is W1 minus W2. Then abrasion values, this. Okay. So very important. This is the abrasion value ranges between 30 to 60 for various pavements. Okay. This thing you have to remember. 30 to 60% finally. Okay. There's a maximum. Okay. Then we'll move on to the tests on bricks. Okay. The types of bricks, they're normally wired cut bricks and pressed bricks. Then again, four types of bricks in the markets available. So then ground molded bricks, table molded bricks, machine molded, and pressed brick. Okay. So ground molded bricks. So these are fired in temporary clamps. Um, Dimensions of bricks are not regular. Okay. Then table molded bricks fired in a kiln process. You already know that kiln, it is how the cement is produced. Same type it will be done. Okay, and also called stock bricks. Okay, the machine molded bricks are fired in continuous kiln and also known as wire cut bricks. Okay, they're properly cutted with the help of the machines. Then the pressed bricks are made under pressure. Always there will be pressed by applying some pressure onto the top. Okay, these bricks are used for decorative works. The dimensions of bricks normally. So bricks are made in traditional size and also in metric size prescribed by BIS. Okay. Then depression made at the top of the bricks called frog. Okay. Then brick work constructed with the frog laid facing upwards. Of always it will be upwards. Then it is the key to mortar to the bond brick together. Okay. Then the weight of the brick, normally dead weight it is, that is 18 to 19 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay. So then average weight, it will be um, 3 to 3.5 kg depending on its dimensions. So lightweight hollow bricks can be also be used in um, some of the works. Okay, it is normally one third of the weight of the common bricks. Okay. Storing of the bricks, so they are not stored in long periods, usually used up in the construction as soon as they delivered at site. Each truckload should be piled in a separate stack on the ground. Okay, it has to be properly stacked. Otherwise, what will happen is that damage, the possibility of damage is going to happen. Okay, it should be stored in a covered sheds during rainy seasons and weak breaks. Why? Because always with respect to the water absorption value of this bricks is higher than the whatever talking about the aggregates. Okay, immediately if you soak it in water, suddenly the disintegration of the brick is going to start. Okay, if you want to avoid, to keep it in the um, some of the shelters only. So bricks for special use: facing bricks, fire clay bricks, acid resisting bricks, then forced right bricks, silicon carbide bricks. Okay, based on the applications they will use. Okay, lightweight bricks in tall buildings to reduce the dead weight of the walls. Main reason is that dead weight of the walls, because always nowadays the construction is going to happen with help of the columns only. So whenever when it is going for with the help of the columns, most of the load, 90 to 90% of the load will transfer to the columns itself. So then um, to reduce the dead load on the beams, so that can be uh, the lightweight bricks can be used. Okay, so in partition walls to reduce the weight and insulate them from the sound. Okay. That can also be one of the reason the lightweight bricks can be used, and it has its many applications. Just go through it once. Then brick substitutes. So as a bricks made from the clay excavated from the earth, so availability of good uh, brick earth is less. Okay, so it is necessary to produce bricks from the industrial waste and other raw materials. So now, uh, what is happening is that um, thus, as a research point of view, this we have to concentrate. So, mm, waste to brick. Okay, um, because a lot of industrial waste um, has been mm, arising, and what is happening is that neither this waste is biodegradable. Okay, this waste is not biodegradable. If it is biodegradable, so then it can be used as a composting process. Then further it can be um, used as a manure also. But some of the industrial wastes are creating a lot of problems with respect to the environment. So what we have to use that we have to use the uh, industrial waste that are produced during many of the processing of the units. Okay, so always we have to concentrate on the byproducts, or finally the industries are what they are telling is that it is a waste. So we have to consider that waste and we have to produce the energy. Okay, so some of the things that there is a fly ash. Of course, you know that the fly ash is uh, the biggest problem in most of the thermal power plants. thermal power plants. So after burning of the coal, finally the ash will remain. That is nothing but fly ash. Okay. Some of the many instances are the problems associated with that. You might be just put it in Google. That is UPCL. That is Udupi Power Corporation Limited. They faced a lot of problems against this fly ash. Again, one of the best examples of utilization of fly ash into bricks. Okay. Um, the Mangalore Nirmiti Kendra, they are 100% they are utilizing this fly ash for preparation of the bricks, and by using this one only, um, the small uh, the corporation the corporation, they have renovated, okay, using this fly ash only. Then some of the calcium silicate bricks and cement and concrete blocks. So of course, along with this fly ash, we have some of the slags like phosphorus slag, phosphorus slag. Lot of efforts are doing to utilize this. Then steel slag. Then see iron tailings. So utilization and some of many people are trying with the plastics to bricks. Okay. Then if you want to utilize, if you want to prepare any of the bricks, other than using the earth material, that is possible. Okay, but it requires um, some of the research, and always you have to see that what applications we are using it, okay, whether it is feasible. Even if I use this phosphorus slag, you have to check it out whether any residues or any toxic effects of this slag on to the application part. That also you have to take it off. Okay, now on other side, it does not mean that you are using it. Okay, on the other side, if I use this for a particular application, is there any disadvantages? So in both the things we have to check it out. Okay, then fly ash. So of course made from fly ash, which is the raw materials from burning of the coal or ignite from various industries, especially the thermal power plants. So lime or cement is also added to give bricks required strength. Okay, why this fly ash playing an important role means the main composition silica, uh, at 20 to 30% SiO2 they are getting. Okay, so that can be replaced in the cement. Okay, there's some percentage of fly ash if you use it in cement, so definitely it is going to alter the strength. Of course, for bricks, that much strength is not required comparing with the concrete. So you can use it. You can use it. There will not be any problem. Okay. Then silicate bricks. Then according to their use, okay, some of the common bricks, that is engineering bricks, fire bricks, and the special type of bricks. So what are the physical requirements? Normally, there are three major classifications: class 1, class 2, class 3 bricks. If it is a class 1, so what will be the requirement? If it is a class 2 type of bricks, so what will be the requirement? If it is a class 3 type of bricks, so what will be the requirements. So if it is a class 1, so should be uniform color, so thoroughly burnt, so rectangular faces with parallel sides and sharp straight right angled edges. Okay, compact uniform texture. So all these general requirements. Okay. So just to go through this class 1, class 2 bricks. So I'll share this, and the tests on brick finally will end this in the next class. Okay. So remaining part also just to go through it in the next class. What we'll do is that we'll go ahead with the the remaining part of this syllabus. Okay.
Okay, sir.